Welcome to Unexpected Paranormal Highway Show. I was sitting around doing nothing. I thought, you know what? I got some time to spare. I'm going to go on live. Let's talk about what are the mysteries that surrounds us. I went to the archives. I got some videos that I'm going to show and stuff like that. So we're going to have a in my opinion, we're going to have a fun time. I know nobody's going to show up today during the live show because nobody knew it was coming on. So this is fully unexpected. But doesn't matter, right? We can always have a fun time. So to start this off, this unexpected type of show, I'm going to play one of my old school intro. Old school intro here. Anybody who remembers me back, 5 years ago doing this when my channel was called Gypsy Road. So this is a good old-fashioned, old-school intro. All right, let's do this. I keep on rushing. Pushing down the Gypsy Road. All right, that was my old school intro when my channel was once called Gypsy Road, until the whole world thinks the word gypsy is such a bad word. But to me, Gypsy Road was never meant to be a disgrace kind of a word. Gypsy Road is that saying about taking that journey on that road, discovering the unknown, never, ever looking back. That's what the Gypsy Road name was. But unfortunately, I was kind of forced to change it. So we went to Paranormal Highway. We're more above the name of a show anyway. But a lot of people who's been with my channel for a long time will know the word Gypsy Road, and it's still in my heart. It's still in my heart. And I'm going to play that intro one more time. We'll get right into it. All right, that was just fun. I love that old intro. I love the energy, the power, going on that journey. It's always great. I'm going to show you guys some things, the stuff, and of course, if you don't know, actually, I should have had this ready. Like I said, this was just an unexpected type of show. I didn't even tell anybody that I was doing this show. I just thought, you know what the hell? I'm going to go live, but I want to show you guys something, real quick. I'm going to share the screen for a second. This Sunday, premiering 7 p.m. Pacific time, premiering 7 p.m. The cartoon series is back. Season 2, starting off Pirates of the Galaxy. So if you like the first season, or maybe you've never seen the first season, if you haven't seen the first season, just go to my channel, go to the Paranormal Highway cartoons, and there's 8 episodes of the first season. And what to expect from season 2, from season 1, is the first episode is the launch of the new season. So it's the launch of the story, but the story is going to get crazy. We're going to go crazier in this series cartoon, where not in this one, but the next one, we're going into a Mandela Effect multiverse, which I think a lot of you will have fun. There's going to be an episode where we're drilling a hole on the moon, so it's going to get crazier. It's going to get fun. It's going to be fun. Right off the bat, just to let you guys know, in this season, Rob from Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob is playing the purple beard pirate. Davy Jones, that's played by Mike from Long Island Bigfoot, is back. And of course, Barry, that's played by Anthony of Unidentified S4. Ninja, kind of a new character that was kind of from the last episode of last year, but the robot got rebuilt to Ninja. So we got a new character that's going to be joining us this adventure this year is Ninja. So Ninja. So it's just a fun cartoon. You know, I don't want to kind of give it away, but I'll just say one thing, that Connor Flynn gets kidnapped by aliens and we got to go get him. So basically, that's where the adventure is going to begin. So hopefully you guys watch it and all that. Now, like one of the characters that's on here, guys, is a guy named Viz. He's my buddy from Dead Talk Live channel. He plays Deep Throat. And I want to pull up his channel for a second because he did this awesome interview. I want to show you guys a little bit of it. Let me pull it up. Dead Talk Live. So the host that you see in the picture is, of course, the man by himself that plays Deep Throat in the cartoon. And on his channel a couple of days ago, he actually had Nick Groff and his wife, Tisa Groff, on his channel. It was a fantastic interview. So I'm going to play you guys part of the interview. And in the chat, I just put in the link. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch the full interview. And remember, the connection to him, to my channel, is he plays Deep Throat. He's a good friend on YouTube that I met years ago. And I'm going to play part of the interview, but if you guys want to watch the full interview, please just go to his channel and say, hey, I saw parts of your interview on the Paranormal Highway channel. I just want to say great job. So if you do go over there to see the whole interview, let him know that you're there through me. Okay, let him know. Let him know. So I'm going to play part of the interview with you guys, and let's see what he has to say.
Spend the rest of the time that we have talking about the elephant in the room. Nick, you released a video several weeks ago, sort of airing out something that's been being talked about for a while now, but you laid out what has happened in the past with your ventures with previous shows and networks. My first question to you is, what prompted you at this stage to make that 7-minute long video?
Yeah, I think I was just at a point where,
just in case you don't know the background story, about 2 weeks ago, Nick came out with a video to explain how Zach from Ghost Adventures has been blocking his shows, getting them canceled, interfering where he's basically almost not allowed to have a show. And the thing is about it is, well, why does this go to the network? Well, most of these networks that does these type of paranormal shows, UFO shows, are owned by the same company of Discovery Plus. They own multiple of different channels, multiple. So they actually run the channels that runs these type of shows, but he keeps getting blocked by Zach, basically saying it's either me or him. You give him a show, I leave Ghost Adventures. And of course, that's such a big ratings thing for Discovery Plus. Of course, they're going to go with him versus Nick. So if you don't know that background, just giving you a little bit of the background, what's going on. And my friend Viz, unscripted, not scripted at all, you know, are asking him the questions. So here's part of the interview.
Where so much stuff kept being resurfaced and trying to stop my productions in life. And what I mean is in a business. So when I keep my head up and I keep going, which I was told to do multiple times, twice throughout my life in 2 different projects, from Ghost Adventures to Paranormal Lockdown and so on, I did that. I said, all right, I'm going to be the bigger person, move on. And I'm not going to continuously feed into negativity, and I'm going to keep making something better. I know what I can do and what I'm capable of, but I'm going to drive forward, because sometimes there's, sometimes stuff just needs to be let go, you know, and don't hold grudges, don't move on. Like, people can have differences of opinions. People don't have to agree. People change. That's how it goes. Life is life, right? But sometimes when you continuously narcissistically try to stop somebody, and for whatever the reason is, for no reason, and try to hurt their reputation, their business, or to succeed in life, and try to stop financially their family from progressing in life, that's an issue. That's a problem to me. So this was brought to my attention very recently by Dakota. He called me and he told me some stuff, and Dakota shared stories with me, and I said, enough's enough. So then I basically said, you know, I told Tessa, I gotta put this video out. You know, I should have did it years ago.
And of course, guys, I don't get involved in beefs, in people's beefs, because we all know there's channels that hate certain people. I mean, by God, there's a lot of channels that hate me. There's a lot of channels that hate me. And, you know, I don't get into people's beefs and all that. But the issue with this one is when you're messing with somebody's opportunity to have a career, what these channels want to do with him, that's where you step over the line, you know? And I'm not telling you at all, anybody in the chat, that everything that Nick does on his show, Ghost Adventures, that it's all real, you know, or exaggerated. I'm not here to debate the realness of every paranormal show and all that, but to block you from the opportunity and chance to continue on with the show, then there's an issue there. It just be like if, I don't know, somebody gets jealous of my channel, which there's nothing to get jealous of my channel, you know, don't have 100,000 subscribers and that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not here. I'm not making money on this channel. So, you know what I mean? So, and all that. So, but I would feel like if somebody gets mad or jealous and they're doing everything they can to say, I want him off because, you know, he doesn't have any rights to make any money or anything like that, then that's where you step over the line. You know, to me, I always feel, and you guys might feel differently than me, that more the better, right? More the better, more type of these kind of shows. You would think that people want more of, you know, who else talks like this? Who else does these kind of shows? You know what I mean? Right? So it makes you want to look more, you know, the beautiful thing about like YouTube is this channel's for everything, right? And I know a lot of people want to catch shows live, but you don't have to catch every show live. You could go back and watch it later on and stuff. And, you know, because we all have different hours, we work different times, you know that. But you go too far when you're blocking people's financial, in any financial reasons. There's no reason for it, you know. And the best way to get away from the negative is you have to ignore it. But it is hard to ignore when they're messing with your livelihood, you know. It's you know. And like I said, I'm not promoting individual channels, because I know some people believe that everything that comes out on TV streaming is fake and stuff. And that's another debate. We're not here debating the realness of channels and all that. But Nick deserves every chance, every opportunity, where I deserve to get every chance and opportunity. You know, you know, and I'm sure Discovery Plus ain't watching me like, man, we got to give this guy something, you know. But I deserve that opportunity and chance, not to be blocked. If they don't want me, then they don't want me. That's another story. But it is the way it is, you know, and all that. So looks all the. Let me go through the people who are here from the chat, and I appreciate anybody who jumps in, because this is unscheduled time, and I know that I wasn't scheduled. I just came on. I just made a thumbnail, came on, call it What Are the Mysteries That Surrounds Us, and just jumped on. I want to thank Freaky Geek for jumping on. I want to thank Mike Johnson for being here. Grandmaster UV, thank you so much. John Sabit Mellon, thank you so much for being here. Let me see here. Mindfart, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Grace Hopper, thank you for being here. Let me see. Fraser, thank you so much for being here, my friends. Carlos Skywatcher, thank you. Lookum Spookum, thank you for being here. And all that. Hobbs, I started writing music again today. The funniest thing is the mental illness seems to destroy the ability to do what you love the most. I am on top of that right now. Hey, you know, life is life, right? You just, you got, unfortunately, you got to deal with things that in life, and, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's just, life is hard, Danny Stanton, thank you. Life is hard. Next Tuesday, I'm getting surgery on my right leg. So, hopefully the surgery part goes through fine. Hopefully nothing crazy. I just had like a phone call from the hospital saying, the chance that things gonna happen during a surgery, which, okay, I know, I get it. All that. So, well, let's look at some videos here. Let me pull up some videos here. Give me a second. Let me put on a small intro, and let me go look at some videos. All right, let's go through my archives and let's pull out this one. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Now for a strange story. Well, let me see what this one is even called. I forgot what this one is called. This one is called, from my archives videos, Real Resident Spot Strange Creature. All right, let's hear this strange creature. What are the mysteries that surrounds us? So let's check out this weird creature.
Story out of rural Coffee County. Residents there say they've heard unusual animal sounds at night, and several ATV riders say they've seen unusual looking creatures in the distance. Today, Mike Gerspan spoke to a few people who are trying to figure out what is in the forest between Enterprise and New Brockton.
I can just say this: something's going on in the woods. Something's going on.
That's right.
Timbuktu.
And of all the millions of sightings and reports,
Joe Blackburn and Tanner Medley work at Bama Slam, an entertainment and recreational venue north of Enterprise. Recently, the two men have received reports from ATV riders of distant sightings of an unusual animal. In addition, folks in the area have heard a loud shriek at night, but it didn't sound like a coyote.
Yeah. We get a lot of feedback from the ATV riders, and one of those recent feedbacks over the last 30 days has been, hey, there's something strange. There's some knocking going on. We hear some screeching.
I don't know that guy. Don't know him personally. But, I hate to say this. Because I don't know this person. I don't know the history of this guy. But is it me that myself looking at this guy that he's exaggerating everything that he's going to say here that he's seeing? I mean, I can't put the claims that he's not the most real guy or the fake guy, but I don't know. You know what I mean? You know how you look at somebody and you read them? You know what I mean? And I get this feeling that everything you're going to hear from this guy is all an exaggeration.
They're not dogs. They're not coyotes. What could it be, right?
And this is not the first time there have been reports of an unusual creature in the woods. In fact, about a decade ago, a crew out of California brought a lot of equipment trying to get a picture in the Asbury community. After reports of a Bigfoot or a skunk ape due to a terrible smell in that vicinity. Despite 3 nights in the forest, they never found any conclusive evidence of a creature.
There's that, right? The 3 nights that they do go on to do the research, they catch nothing. So So I'm going to continue playing this.
You dismiss all the erroneous possibilities. There's little left except some kind of bipedal humanoid ape.
What's going on in the woods right here? I mean, if you hear a screech, a howl, but it's not like we have wolves. We have coyotes. It's a very distinct sound.
The men say whatever's in the woods, it seems more frightened of humans. They ask if you've seen something unusual as far as a creature or heard something out of the norm in the woods. Try and use your phone to get a picture or some form of evidence. Covering local news first in Coffee County, Mike Erspan, WDHN News.
Sorry about that. I'm muted. I apologize. I muted myself because I just got a call from Anthony, unidentified S4. He's like, I didn't know you were going live. I go, that's perfect. I didn't know I was going live too. I just decided to go live. You know, what the hell? You know, you do got to trust your instincts. You know, watching these videos, sometimes these people, you know, listen, it's awesome if you get a news channel out there, right? Because then you can really play along, you know? And of course, you know, everybody said, you know, that same old message, right? Hey, if you're out there, get your camera ready. Get this. Of course, we all got phones. Everybody wants that picture. Everybody wants that shot and all that. No, we all want it. We all want it. I see you talking about here nothing. I apologize. Like I said, I muted myself because I received a phone call and all that. So, I'm gonna look for another video, but real quick, this is old school Friday. So I'm gonna play one of my old school intros again. I'm gonna play this again. I played it earlier in the show because this is old school. This is going back to when the name Gypsy Road was here. Gypsy Road. Here we go. Back to the original intro. That was my old school intro. One of my old fun old school intro. Like I said, guys, it was funny. Like I said, Anthony was like, I didn't know you're going live. I go, I didn't know I was going live either. I was just sitting here bored. I just put something on. Well, let me put on another video here. One of my old school videos. A paranormal caught on camera. Okay, let me put that one up. That one is an old school one of a guy who thinks he might have caught a unicorn on camera. So let's play this older video that I played a long time ago. Yeah, it's one of my older ones. I'm going back. This show is about going back to the archives of videos that I had here now. Just replaying it. Since there's a lot of newer people, that some of these people might never saw some of these older videos. So this is a guy who thinks he might have caught a unicorn. Let's see.
Is actually a unicorn. Hi, I'm James Button. I was sitting at my desk and I was about to do some work and got bored. I think I was just staring at the window daydreaming, just imagining things, and being in Wales there's a lot of sheep, so I expected just to see some more sheep.
But on one particular day, the animal that James saw out the window sent him scrambling to get his video camera.
There's actually a unicorn. It's a horse with a horn, so that's a unicorn right there.
Okay, now, first of all, several things about this one. Now, this could be easily a couple things. Could be a total hoax where they put something on it. I mean, if I'm looking at it, it does look like it's a little bit behind the head anyway. It doesn't even look center. Now, that could be a hoax of somebody putting something on the horse. Or, you know, horses can have growth on their bodies just like a human can, you know?
You're gonna hate me for this. You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's his ear, and you're looking at it from a different angle.
You're absolutely right. It could be an ear. that definitely can be in there. Like you said, the way they shot of the camera, because they broke one rule, not a rule. It's not a rule, but a rule that used to say, Anthony, like if you catch a flying object, keep your camera on it for a while.
Yeah, film the whole thing. Right.
So if I thought I saw a unicorn, I'm going to keep my camera on it so long that, like you said, if it's an hour, then it's an hour. Since it's only showing you what, 15 seconds, that might just be the 15 seconds of an angle that the ear looks like a unicorn.
Exactly.
You know?
And I know some people are going to say, oh, but that ear looks really big. Well, horses can actually hyperextend their ear when they're trying to hear something, when they're listening to something. So he could have that ear extended out. So very possible.
Brandon, you're not late. I got off the phone because I have an appointment coming Tuesday, and when I got off the phone, I made a thumbnail in 5 minutes.
I didn't even know he was on. I literally called him on the phone while he was on the show, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? I got news." He's like, "I'm live. Get down."
You know, sometimes you just gotta do it. Now, this next video is like when I was doing like if I was on a journey, if I'm in a car, what are some haunted places, haunted roads, that kind of a thing. So this one is called, let me find it, the haunted Fudge, haunted Fudge. I don't know. It's somewhere in
the haunted Fudge. Sounds like a gay bar.
I know, right? Sorry, the haunted Fudge Road Bridge. So this is the Fudge Bridge. I think it's in New Orleans. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I always kind of fast forward the music part because sometimes your most copyright stuff is not the footage. It's always like the music.
Of history in your own backyard. Today we find ourselves in Gratis, Ohio, at the very haunted Fudge Road Bridge. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it.
I wonder who named that road Fudge Road Bridge. I wonder who thought of the idea. It's called Fudge. You know, was it where trucks deliver fudge, or I don't know. It's always a mystery how these roads get named. The Fudge Road.
They might have had a candy.
Built in 1913 by the Central State Bridge Company of Indianapolis, Indiana, the Fudge Road Bridge is one of the longest pinned Pratt pony truss bridges in existence, with a length of 91 feet. It spans Ackerman Creek and was closed due to vehicular traffic in 2012. When the bridge was opened, it was a popular road rally site where people in sports cars would travel down this backcountry road enjoying a rural country drive. However, the bridge also has a dark side. It has been reported that a red-eyed demonic creature inhabits the local woods here and has been known to hide under the bridge waiting for his next meal.
Now, that somewhat sounds like Mothman in a way, with the red eyes and the bridge. Or is it Elf under the bridge? What was this?
A troll.
A troll under the bridge. A troll under the bridge. So, but let's hear why they think it's haunted.
Fortunately, we were here during the day, and we didn't stick around long enough to find out if those rumors were true enough. The bridge has been closed for 5 years now and will probably be demolished at some point in the near future. Yet another historic bridge lost, but not forgotten. Thanks for watching another edition of History.
So if you guys live in Ohio, well, apparently in Ohio, there's this Fudge Bridge that's supposed to be haunted. Hopefully you guys can visit it before.
I bet you. I know how the bridge got its name.
Oh, you learned?
Yeah. Somebody had the shit scared out of him, like Freaky said. Somebody, what did he say? Somebody ate too much fudge and had it scared out of them years ago. That's exactly how the bridge got named.
You know, the funny thing, I'm looking at this road. It looks like there's not even a through road. Look at it. It's all like blocked
it off
behind it.
Yeah.
You know? So
probably because the bridge is not good up to standards anymore, I would say. It's
It must be. If they're gonna tear it down, they must be worried that somebody's gonna be standing on the bridge and it breaks, and then you got a lawsuit.
Oh yeah,
you got a big time lawsuit. That's Fudge Road, but I got another place here.
Is that next to the Hershey Highway?
This is going back. This is going back to my archives. This next one is Mona Lisa Drive. Mona Lisa. Of course, we all know where the Mona Lisa name probably came from the famous painting.
Ugly, the Mona Lisa.
It's funny. It's funny you said that, ugly, because that picture is very famous, very popular, and people love that painting. I look at it like, I don't know. I don't know. I maybe paid $5 for the Mona Lisa, but
not attractive at all.
And of course there's some major Mandela effects with that Mona Lisa picture too. Some people say, I can't remember exactly, but there were some things on it that supposedly change over time, but who knows?
Fellow paranormal enthusiasts, welcome to the video about Mona Lisa Drive.
Ooh.
Mona Lisa Drive is the name given to an overgrown cul-de-sac in New Orleans, Louisiana's City Park. City Park was founded in the mid-1800s and is one of the most...
I'm sorry, hold on. I just reading this comment. I thought some girl named Lisa moaned a lot. When moaned a lot. You guys ever want to see a girl moan loud and want to laugh your ass off? You never seen the movie Porky's? Watch Porky's. There's a cool scene in the movie about a girl moaning so loud that everybody in the gym was listening, because apparently in the movie Porky's, you got to get this girl up in the boys' locker room, and then she goes nuts. So if you never seen Porky's, you got to watch it. Actually, talk about Porky's for a second. Porky's is a Porky's is a major part of my life because when I was a kid, our father took us to the drive-in, and when I was a kid at the time, went to the drive-in, I didn't understand the movie 2001 Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey.
As a kid, I'm talking about when I was a kid. When I was watching that movie as a kid, I was like, this is the most boringest shit I've ever seen as a kid. As a kid, I was a kid. And right across in the drive-ins, back then they played rated R, and there was Porky's. And there was a famous shower scene. Anybody knows the famous shower scene where somebody puts something in a hole and a gym lady grabs it, right? And I'm like, why are we watching this? What is that? What is that movie over there? Now, of course, when I grew up a little later, I respected 2001 Space Odyssey.
Great movie.
But as a kid, when you saw like Star Wars, and then you go into 2000 Space Odyssey, you're like, what's this? Actually, talking about Star Wars for a second, I'm going everywhere today. Tonight, I'm actually going to the movies. Last night I wanted to go to the movies on Friday night. I'm like, what movie are we going to see? Evil Dead Rises, or what am I going to see? And then we're like, holy shit, Return of the Jedi is playing at the theater?
Really?
It's playing at the theater. So I'm like, hey, I want to go see Return of the Jedi. So tonight,
65.
Yeah.
Eric.
So tonight I'm actually gonna go watch Return of the Jedi at the theater.
You got to go check out the movie 65.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for it to either rent it. See, I'm afraid to rent it. Oh, this is why.
It's great.
It's been out for a while to be rented, and right now you have to rent it or buy it, so it's full price, like $20. I'm wondering, like if I buy that movie now,
I bought it. Yeah.
Will tomorrow drop on a streaming channel?
I could film it on my cell phone and send it to you if you want. It's not going to be the greatest quality.
'Cause I'm like, I know it. I'll pay the full price, and it'll be out tomorrow on Peacock streaming service or whoever.
I checked. It's not even on Plex yet. So, but it was great. I'll just tell you that much. It was great. I loved it.
I can't wait to watch it. I see Long Island Bigfoot. Just in
Get
case,
with LIB, me.
I'm gonna come back to this video for a second, but
Maryland.
Since I saw Island Bigfoot, if you haven't known already, let me pop it up on the screen again. I did it earlier in the show. This Sunday is the premiere of season 2, episode 1, Pirates of the Galaxy. And whoever watches it will understand why it's called Pirates of the Galaxy. So that's this Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And the reason, Long Island Bigfoot, the reason I have his name there is he actually plays a pirate character, Davy Jones. So that is this Sunday, Pirates of the Galaxy. It's gonna relaunch a new season, and like I said earlier in the show, it's gonna be a little bit of a crazier season. It's gonna be crazier, especially when you see the next episode that deals with a multiverse kind of a world. That's all I gotta say. But let's go back.
Visited urban parks in the United States. The legend of Mona Lisa Drive starts with a young woman named Mona who fell in love with a sailor. Now, there's a couple variations of the story. Either her father disapproved and she was heartbroken, so she committed suicide. Or that the sailor himself claimed he never loved her, they fought, and he killed her. Later on, Mona's father sold his property under the jurisdiction that a statue be made in his daughter's honor. So a statue of Venus was erected. But soon tragedy struck. A car hit the statue and it collapsed. And after that incident, people started reporting eerie phenomena around the area. Disembodied screams and other odd sounds are heard, and a mournful-looking female spirit is seen around the area of the statue, and even appearing next to occupied vehicles and scratching on the windows before vanishing into thin air. Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Couple weird things about that story for a second. Okay, so father sold this. Whoever buys his land has to put in a statue. Kind of weird that why didn't he put in the statue?
Mhm.
Why does somebody else has to buy it and put in the statue? But regardless, so they put in the statue, but the ghost story part of it doesn't come in until the statue gets hit by a car. So you know what I mean? I mean, did creating a statue, did it create the energy for the ghost of Mona to appear within it? And then why did it not show up until it gets hit? Just, you know, it just, I don't know why I'm thinking that, but, or the ghost has always been there and maybe people didn't notice it until they hit.
Or it had an attachment to the statue, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like did it pull energy of, or Mona, the ghost, loved the statue so much it stayed with it until it got hit, and maybe now it's angry?
Yep.
And then, of course, and there's two sides of that story. Did the woman commit suicide, or was it a murder? Now, if I'm going to take a stab at it, of what if it's really true, if the whole folklore story is true, would a ghost appear more from a suicide or being murdered? And the reason I'm saying that, because if you're in the Bible, right, Anthony, if you commit suicide, that's the most ultimate sin somebody could do, and you're going directly reliving that hell. So I would most likely take out. That's the reason why I'm taking out the suicide part. Now, if you're murdered, that's, you know, you just got killed. You just got murdered. That's more of an implant of a ghost being created, my opinion, from that versus a suicide. Because I wouldn't think, if the true story of the suicide is true, that you wouldn't even have the privilege of being a ghost because you did something that's considered the most evil thing you do to yourself. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What's this? It took me 4 times to cleanse the house. Laugh out loud. Oh, wow. I like to hear that story. Because honestly, I like to hear that story because if you have a ghost in your house, if you're going to cleanse it, I would think, because Nona Boss is a wonderful lady. Wonderful lady. You know that, and I know that. She's wonderful. So for a person to want to do a cleansing, I would think you'd be doing that because the ghost that's in your house is not friendly. Because I think if you have a friendly ghost, would you really try to cleanse the ghost out unless you're trying to get it to the other side?
I did. I have these shadow people in my house. I purchased everything. I have the sage. I bought the shell with the feather and the whole. Try to do the whole thing. Get these shadow people out. Nothing's working, man.
So notable. So when you try to cleanse it, was this ghost in your house? Was it more of a bad spirit where you wanted to do it 4 times to get this thing fully out? I'm curious. Eric is a ghost.
Boo.
I don't blame you calling me a ghost. Oh, what did she say here? I think. Hold on a second. I thought. Oh no, that's Oh, here it is. It was a negative entity that followed me home from New Orleans. Oh wow,
man.
That's where this story's from. You think Mona Lisa followed you home?
That's
wow.
freaky, man. Having something follow you home.
I'm always curious.
Ghost.
I'm always curious about that too, because I would feel you do have to have some kind of a medium, because honestly, like if you and I had a ghost in our house, I wouldn't know if I brought it from somewhere to my house.
Right.
Like, how would I know? It's got to be a medium type of feeling that you felt this somewhere else, and then you felt that bringing it home. I would think,
right?
You know, because can it be luckily like if you and Ron did your paranormal search on that one place, you caught something like how would you, even though you went home and you might start seeing some activities, but how do you know for sure you brought something home? Or is this maybe luck?
Well, I mean, if you didn't have anything in the house to begin with, and then all of a sudden you have activity ramp up, I would assume you would speculate that you brought it home with you, you know?
But maybe, this is all speculation, but maybe because you had that experience, Anthony, that it's the first time that your mind was able to open up even more because you saw something that made you really like, wow, there is something. And now you're home. Now you're more open. You're seeing things that might have always been there.
True.
It's all speculations, right?
It is.
I know. Let me see here. I got another road one. This is Boy Scout Lane. Boy Scout Lane from my vault. Let me pull this up.
Highways are essential in many ways to our existence, and we spend countless hours traveling roads as if they were the arteries of modern civilization. It's inevitable that stories of the paranormal also circulate these same streets, witness to numerous accidents, dark events, and unexplainable happenings, creating legends of the most haunted highways in North America. Subscribe to Fact Feast so you can feast your eyes on more content from the darker side. With a name like Boy Scout Lane, you could be forgiven for thinking that this road in Linwood, Wisconsin, sounds quite harmless, but the legends surrounding it are certainly more disturbing. This short, unmade 2,500 feet, or 760 meters long lane was so named because it is located near woodland, once owned by the Boy Scouts of America, who planned to build a scout camp. Although never constructed, the name remained. According to local folklore, however, the road is named for a troop of Boy Scouts who were killed while on a camping trip in the 1950s.
Oh, hold on a second. What are you having for dinner? Man, can I have some of that?
You can't say you're going to cook in front of a fat kid.
That's funny. I'm hungry now. My God, I want some of this food. I bet she can make some good food.
Feed me, Nona boss.
Man, I know, right? I wonder what they're eating. Actually, maybe I don't want to know because then I really want some.
Or 60s. In some variations, the Slayer is the troop's scoutmaster. In others, it is their bus driver. Another version of the legend centers on a small group of scouts that leave their camp during the night and accidentally drop their lantern. resulting in a forest fire that kills the entire troop. Other variations of the story exist, including one in which the scouts are killed after their bus crashes or accidentally catches fire. There is also a version in which the scouts vanish without explanation and are never found. Yet another tells of 2 Boy Scouts who escaped the fate of the rest of the troop and tried to find help, only to become lost in the woods, where they die of starvation and/or exposure. In most variations of the legend, it is said that the dead scouts haunt the forest where they died and can be heard hiking through the undergrowth, or their lights can be seen at night as they seek help, or their fellow scouts. Stories circulated in haunted travel guides include visitors reporting a strong sense of foreboding or being watched. The sound of footsteps or breaking branches coming from multiple directions. Red or white lights, sometimes described as resembling swinging lanterns or flashlight beams. Ghostly buses or figures, and childlike handprints on cars stopped in or driven through the area.
That would be weird.
You ain't kidding.
That'd be a fun place to camp for one night.
Hey, can I show you something cool?
Yeah.
You want to see something cool?
If it's cool.
So we all know Nikki from Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. Look what she made. It just came in the mail yesterday.
Is that a piece of wood? Is that
yeah,
round?
yeah, it's a piece of tree. Got my logo on there. Got the unidentified S4. Got this New York City skyline. The triangle UFO. Another UFO. She did a really nice job, man.
And I mean, that's not small. That's a
No,
big...
it's a nice piece. It's at least a little bigger than 12 inches. It's really nice. Did a beautiful job, man. Very, very, very talented. Very talented.
Man.
Beautiful piece.
Man, that's gotta take her some time to do.
Oh, without it, it's all burned. It's all burned into the wood. It's all etched into the wood. I mean, it's really just beautiful piece, man. I mean, you really got to see it in person. It's amazing.
My friend gave me a gift. Hold on, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab this gift. You guys gotta see this. I don't know. Let me see. I gotta show you guys this. All right, this is huge. Now this thing here. Is
that a painting?
It's a big picture.
A print.
It's a big print, but thing is, I don't have the plug-in in here. When I plug this in,
it lights up.
It lights up.
No way.
It all lights up. Let me see. Can I? Let me see. Let me see something. Let me see if I can. I do got this, but where can I plug it in? Do I have a place where I can plug? Well, first of all, where where do I plug it in at? There's gotta be.
There might be like a USB port. There you go.
It goes here. Let me see here. There a plug in here. There a plug. I think I could plug it in. Oh, right over there. I can see a plug in. Let me see.
Hey, just throw that over there. So while Eric's doing that, I'll give you guys some upcoming news. This Sunday, I have Tori Oates coming on the show. Tori Oates is the producer for the movie The Matrix Reloaded. So she'll be on this Sunday with Tom Reed from the Berkshire UFO incident. Tom's a good friend of mine, so those two will be on. Her father, Tori's father, played Sergeant Holker in the movie Stripes.
Oh, there it is.
with Bill Murray and John Candy. So that's going to be a good show.
I know
And
you can't
then-
really see the lights here.
Oh, yeah, there they are. That is cool, man. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. That
It's
must look
big.
awesome when the lights are out.
Oh, that was like, it was like unexpected. One of those unexpected ones.
I was just telling everybody we got some awesome guests lined up.
Oh, yeah. The producer guy.
Girl.
I'm a producer guy. I'm sorry. Producer girl.
And then, I didn't tell you this yet, but on May 21st, Toby Martinez is coming on. He's the editor from the Roswell Daily Record newspaper. He'll be on our show with Shane Flores, who's an Air Force veteran, to talk about their experience and stuff. So that's going to be cool too.
You know, I love when you get different people, because one of my main things is I always wonder when somebody does a movie, kind of like a Matrix, anything that deals with a mystery, not folklore, but anything that you know what I mean, like do they study the mystery? Do they sometimes think to themselves, like, what if this is true? What if we are living in a Matrix? You know, working on a movie with those things, like, does it open your own mind to the possibility, like, what if we are in a Matrix? You know, what if I'm not saying we're batteries, because that wasn't the original story of the Matrix. They just decided to add humans to be the batteries in it.
Right.
But it just,
that's her right there on the left. And Tommy will be on too from Berkshire UFO. It's gonna be cool.
I'm just curious. Well, I got another video from my archives. This is Oregon UFO strange sightings in the Northwest. A news channel that was doing a story about the UFO sightings in the state of Oregon.
Saucers, hovering discs, unexplainable shapes in the sky. UFOs have long been a part of Oregon's history, and this summer, the sightings really came pouring in.
We were curious about this. Our Cole Miller traveled east to meet someone who spotted something suspicious and sat down with a UFO expert, and Cole has the video that was caught on camera.
More often than not, when we hear those three words, unidentified flying object, we think about the Southwest, New Mexico, and Roswell. But what about the Northwest? One expert tells me here in Oregon, we have the second most sightings in the United States. The most recent happening right.
I don't know if that part's true, but
They've been having a lot of sightings lately, Oregon,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I knew Washington was in top 5 for sightings, but I guess Oregon connected to Washington, so I guess it can make sense.
Here in the skies above Pendleton.
Okay, there's a white thing up there. It's been there for a long time.
That small dot in a sea of blue, just a speck in the sky, spotted by Virgil Bates Jr.
We looked up, you see this white thing. It's just there. That got our attention.
Began to look a little suspicious.
Yes.
That thing's way up there, huh? That thing, he says, floated above Pendleton, its historic downtown, and cowboy statues for more than an hour this past July.
So what's a little bit interesting, I'm not saying that's a real object from outer space or anything like that, that what you say, how long do they film it? And according to the story, he said he was staring at it with his camera for over an hour.
I don't think it's a balloon then, or a drone.
Yeah. We see what else they say.
This thing did not go unnoticed. A lot of people in town looked up in the sky and they saw that thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
In a landscape that looks somewhat extraterrestrial itself, with an airbase not far from town, Bates says there was nothing else flying that.
Okay, but now they did say there's an air base. Now, nothing else was flying that day, but they never mention that. Did the air base confirm that there's nothing up in the sky from their end?
And the air bases put up weather balloons from time to time.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't think, because I watched it before, I don't think they said anything about the air base, any other information? Let's see if let's find out.
They're here.
Yeah. His only explanation, whatever that thing was an unidentified flying object, a
When was this
UFO.
sighting, Eric?
Virgil, what do you make of the whole thing?
Recently?
I think this was last summer, because I had this in my archives for about 8-9 months.
Well, you know.
But you know, like I said, pointing out the archives and you know,
I'd never seen this one, so it's cool.
you know, sometimes they're fun to re-look at it because, like I said, the only interesting parts was they said about over an hour and multiple people seen it. But I did like they did mention there was an air base, so they weren't hiding that there is an air base nearby. I wish the news channel would investigate it. I don't think they did here, but maybe they did because I can't remember the whole thing.
I think there's other things out there besides, you know, we can't be the only people around, or whatever you want to call us.
We have a huge database of UFO reports.
That's Tom Bowden, a UFO expert of sorts. His coffee table makes that abundantly clear.
I started looking into this subject.
First of all, having a bunch of books does not make you an expert. Now, might be a little bit more knowledgeable.
How do we even know?
Depending on what kind of books those are in the first place.
How do you know he even read them? They could just be there for decoration.
That's true too, right? And you know the news channel's gonna come. Here, I'll put all these magazines.
Come look at all
and
these books I got.
And all that. But I mean, I've never heard of the guy. I don't know if you've heard of him. So I mean,
he's from MUFON.
Oh, he's from MUFON. Okay. Like I said, listen, people. I don't know who works for MUFON. So I mean, you guys can tell me names like, oh, he's MUFON.
Oh,
he's
that
been
guy?
here 20 years. I wouldn't even know.
Matter about 1974, 75.
He's the state
So you got some experience under your belt.
Yes.
Bowden is the Oregon director for what's known as MUFON. That's the Mutual UFO Network. It's dedicated to studying those sightings and those who report them.
What we do is we investigate the people who say they've seen UFOs. We're looking into their story and trying to understand that person.
The volunteer-based group has 4 investigators here in Oregon, which, as it turns out, ranks incredibly high in sightings.
Why do you think it is so many people report seeing UFOs in our state?
Well, the problem with the question why is that there's just no rational explanation for that.
Of course, there's that famous saucer from McMinnville back in the 50s. Before that, something strange over Mount Adams. And this summer, Bowden says, was a busy one.
And they've really piled up. Not sure what was going on.
From May 1st to late September, 72 reports in all. 30%, he says, remain unidentified. As for Bowden's most memorable investigation, it was August of 2003 near Gresham High School.
Dark triangular craft was just hovering right there, a few hundred feet above the houses.
He posted flyers just like this one in the neighborhood, and more people came forward having...
Kind of looks like the one you saw.
Yep. And look at that. It's in another residential neighborhood. Like mine. How about that? And it's hovering low above the treetops, just like mine. How about that?
And that my thumbnail has a triangle in it, so that's kind of woo. That's awesome. And in a weird way, like that's kind of cool in a different neighborhood.
Seen something just like that.
Do you believe that the government knows more than it lets on about UFOs, or that there's somebody out there who knows more than we've been told?
It's pretty certain that that parts of the government do have that, do know more than they are letting on.
At 71, Bowden...
I mean, that's common sense, really.
Well, now we know that. In 2003, we didn't know that.
That's true.
And is hopeful that a breakthrough will come while he's still alive. Until then, he'll keep digging, that manual on how to do so in hand. Back out east...
Anyway, just wanted to show you guys out.
Bates says he'll continue to keep his eyes peeled for any aerial anomalies that might pay a visit.
I guess you look at the skies a little differently?
Oh yeah, you got to take a closer look. They're probably as curious as we are.
Very cool.
It is. So like you're saying, some airbase might do weather balloons. So I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, all the weather bases do air balloons. Weather balloons. Sorry,
I would
they all do
think.
weather balloons.
I would think, as a responsible reporter, you because I'm
would do
sure
your
when
due
they put up
diligence to go
a
to the
air
air base,
balloon,
right?
right? They
Yeah,
got to have a record of
course, flight log.
Yeah,
Unless it was classified. But I don't. The last time they did something classified with a weather balloon was Project Mogul and Project Grudge. So that I know of, anyway.
that is then again, guys who came earlier in the show today. I said my friend did an interview of Nick
Viz.
Groff,
Yeah.
and he Viz is the character in my cartoon that plays Deep Throat. So again, I'll put this link in there. And of course, early in the show, I played a little bit. I don't want to play too much because I want you guys to go to his channel and watch the whole thing. It was
great show.
It was really good. I'll play a tiny bit more, but if you guys want to see the whole thing, just go to his channel.
But it just wasn't worth it. I said, you know what, I can keep going on. And I had the opportunity to go on and do that. And I had several network people say, oh, don't say anything, keep going. All the network people knew. And it's one of those things, when you work in the industry and you're doing something, everybody wants to keep riding that surfboard on that great wave that you're surfing, right?
Yeah.
But when that wave crashes down, everyone wants to hurry up and exploit people and say the truth. But I'm the type of person who has always been like, this is what it is. You either like it or you don't. This is who I am, and I'm just a straight shooter. I'm a New England kid. I don't care about the glam and the light and all that. I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate, but I'm truthful with what I do. So, when you,
like I said, if you guys want to watch the whole thing, just go to the link. And again, if you watch earlier in the show, I told you guys, some people say, well, another channel will take a chance, but you guys don't understand. Most of these channels that do the paranormal UFO shows are all owned by one company, Discovery Plus. They own Travel. They own Discovery. They own History Channel. They own mostly of these type of channels that does these shows. So
Did you notice? Did you notice Nick was wearing a UFO T-shirt? His tank top had a UFO on it.
Oh,
I thought that was interesting.
He did. He did. Oh, what's this? John say? My mom and brother saw it in Eastern Oregon desert. Oh wow. Wow. Hey, I was just in Oregon last weekend, people. Oregon's a beautiful
place, man.
And first of all, it doesn't surprise me if it can be considered second or third, because the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast is the size of the states. New York is more small. If you look at the states of East, it's more smaller states. You go in the West, Oregon's huge. Washington's huge. There's such open land that I wouldn't be. Listen, I don't know for a fact, but I would think if I'm a from another world, that it's easy. Bigger states is probably easier states to hide, that you don't have to be out in the open, where like New York is more concentrated of millions of people in one spot, where if you're going to take animals, you're going to take spot, right? Wouldn't it be easier to go states like Montana, these big fat states, to hide? I'm just guessing. I don't know, but unless the UFOs don't care if people see them or not, Man, my phone's going crazy. What the heck? What, UFOs? Actually, I had another video. Actually, it was when I pulled this video out, Anthony, I forgot that this video came from you.
Which one?
And I'll play it. I'll play it. I'm like, I was pulling out some videos for just to pull together. And I'm like, oh, this is an Anthony's from his channel. It's one of your older videos.
This video is brought to you by. Oh my God. Years ago.
in my archives. There you go. But it's fun going back looking at archives again because you might miss something before, you might see something different now, or
years ago.
what you learned since then to now. I know you zoom in closer.
Mm-hmm. I think this is in Pennsylvania.
So everything you've learned from there to now, will there be anything differently how you will look at this video?
What do you mean? I would have zoomed in all the way back then and stood on it like that or whatever.
What I mean is like, I don't know what your original thoughts of this video when you first played it, because I'm sure it must be triggering enough for you to play it. But now you learn how people could fake stuff, fakery, and all that kind of stuff.
I filmed this.
Oh, you filmed this? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said Pennsylvania, so
yeah, I was
didn't
up
know.
there I go up there every year for vacation.
Oh, okay.
I got a cabin.
Okay.
But
this came exactly from you. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. But like now I would probably be like, oh, could it be a balloon or whatever? I don't know, I still don't know. I don't see no string or anything on it.
I wouldn't think you would be able to see a string because it could be so damn tiny. But would a balloon go that crazy in that? I guess depending on how the winds are up there, I guess it could be. And then and then you made a circle where that looks like eyes right there. Look at that. That's interesting right there. It's almost like something's looking. That's spooky. Looks like an energy ring around it though. That is cool. How many years ago was this video when you took it?
This is I think like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. That's spooky right there. Like it's like there's two eyes right there. Like
that looked like another full-size object in the clouds. If you go back in the video, you notice it before I zoom in. It's there also in the beginning. Yeah. But go rewind the video here. Look, I'll do it.
Okay, I'll let you.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
You see it
Okay.
right there? So it looks like a ring of lights there. See 1, 2, 3, 4.
It almost looks like one of those Jawas of Star Wars in the clouds. Nice. But it's kind of exciting because you got this black thing he's going crazy, and then you have those two little white things that was in that one spot. And then of course you enhanced it, and it goes back to those two. And all you hear is silence. What made you look up? You just felt it, or you just like, what the fuck?
No, I was outside filming, and I spotted it in the sky.
So you were actually UFO hunting.
I was really out there looking for. This was, when this was? When I recorded the Bigfoot sound in the woods. Same time frame. Same week.
I mean, that is just badass. That is. Hold on, let me pull this up for a second, and then I'll start winding down. Like I said, people in the chat, I just decided to go live at the last minute. This was not planned. I was just, I was bored because my daughter's gonna have like 4 friends over tonight. That's why I'm going to movies, because it's like I want to get the hell out of here. But this Sunday, here it is, Journey into the Great Unknown, production assistant, The Matrix Reloaded. and then Berkshire UFO incident. So you got these two people on at the same time.
Yeah, that's Tom Reed from the Berkshire UFO abduction incident. He runs UFO Expo, and that's Tori Oates. Her father played Sergeant Holker in the movie Stripes.
Oh yeah.
And she also worked on Matrix Reloaded as the production assistant.
Man, I'm sure she must have done a lot of other movies too.
Well, working on them, behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, yeah. I'm gonna let me see here. I'm just going to one page real quick. What's her full name?
Tori Oates. That is just so awesome. And you could almost do separate shows with them, but you got them to be on together. Yeah, well, they're friends, so I figured why not have them on together? That'd be pretty cool. We'll have a good time doing that.
Let me see here. I'm just trying to I'm just curious. Oh, she doesn't have a IMDb page. I was
Nah,
just
she's very, very private.
Yeah, I was just curious. Any other productions like science fiction type of stuff? So okay, and that is right here. So that is coming up this Sunday.
Yeah,
almost looks like you a little bit.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah,
you shave my head.
Shave your head and
remember Tom came on with UFO Man that time. Me, you, Ron did the show. We did the Berkshire UFO. We had UFO Man and Tom on.
Okay, and then me on that, guys. I will be back on Monday to do my live show, and then of course Tuesday is my surgery date. So depending on,
is that ambulatory surgery? Are you going to be in and out?
Yes. I'm gonna be out. My wife did get what she does on a surgery, and not like we had do a lot of surgeries, but she got a hotel that night just coming out of surgery, just so I don't have to come home and worry about a dog going against my legs and stuff. kind of like one day in a room without kids and stuff. So, and then beyond that,
Bones in the house. What's up, brother?
Yeah, so that'll be. And of course, what I'm doing is just on the safe side. I'm actually bringing up a green screen upstairs in my old-fashioned little microphone. People remember that little dog hair circle? I have it upstairs just in case I can't go downstairs into this room because I've heard that they don't want you to go up and downstairs. So I'll be doing all my shows and stuff upstairs for a while. Gotta do what you gotta do. But guys, like I said, today was just fun. Today was just a throw together type of deal, type of archive. So hopefully you guys had fun watching. Sometimes the best shows are the ones that you don't even plan doing. I never really do shows at 3 or 4 o'clock. So it's kind of an unusual time beyond that. So beyond that, I want to thank everybody for showing up. And Anthony, I want to thank you for showing up without even knowing that I threw something together. Well, I was trying to get a episode 1 through 8 done where I could play it on Friday since I couldn't get it done. I thought, I'll just do this instead. So beyond that, I'll see everybody later.